Welcome, dear listener. The rain has started to fall, and the world outside has grown still. Let this gentle sound of water on leaves, rooftops, and window panes wash over you, like a comforting embrace from the night. You're safe here, wrapped in blankets, tucked away from the world. But as the rain soothes your senses, I'll share with you stories, tales that tiptoe between the strange and the mysterious, the shadowy and the unknown. They're not meant to startle you, only to linger softly, like whispers in the dark. These are stories for those who love the quiet thrill of the unknown, for those who find beauty in the eerie and calm in the shadows. So breathe deeply. Let the sound of the rain calm your mind. Relax and let the weight of the day melt away. Now, close your eyes if you wish, and allow me to guide you through the veil of ordinary reality, into a world where mystery lives just beyond the light. Let's begin. The headlights cut through the darkness as you drive into the small town. A chill runs down your spine. The streets are eerily silent. No people, no sounds, just the remnants of what once was. Abandoned cars line the roads, some with doors ajar, others left in mid-escape. You grip the steering wheel tighter. Your instincts scream at you to leave, but curiosity keeps you moving forward. You scan the buildings. Windows are shattered. Graffiti scrawled across walls hints at panic. Then, out of the corner of your eye, a shadow flits across the street. Heart racing, you slam on the brakes. You peer out, searching, but see nothing. Is it just your imagination? You can't afford to be reckless. You decide to find supplies. Food, water, anything that might help you survive. You spot a grocery store up ahead. The sign hangs crooked, swinging slightly in the wind. With each step toward the entrance, you feel the weight of isolation. The air is thick, heavy with dread. You push the door open. It creaks loudly. Inside, the shelves are mostly bare. A few cans remain, rusted and dusty. You grab what you can find, stuffing them into your bag. Then, a noise, a soft shuffle. You freeze. Someone or something is here. Why? Our heart pounds in your ears. You can't stay here. You need to move. Fast. You glance around, looking for an exit. The back door seems to lead to an alley. You make your way toward it, every step echoing in the emptiness. Your pulse quickens. You push the door open just enough to slip through. The alley is dark, damp, and filled with the stench of decay. You can hear your breath quickening, a reminder of your solitude. Every shadow feels alive, every sound amplified. You step cautiously, scanning for threats. The feeling of being watched creeps over you. Then you see them, figures emerging from the shadows. Their movements are awkward, jerky. You recognize the signs? These are not people anymore. Panic surges. You turn to run, but the alley narrows. You are trapped. Survival instincts kick in. You need a plan. You spot a fire escape. Can you reach it? The figures are closing in. You sprint, adrenaline coursing through your veins. Climb. You must climb. As you pull yourself up, the cold metal bites into your hands. You look down. They are almost upon you. Their hollow eyes fix on you. A surge of desperation propels you higher. You reach the roof and collapse. The view is haunting. The town sprawls below, desolate and lifeless. But you are not safe yet. You are isolated. Resources are running low. The figures are still there, milling about, waiting. You need to think, to find a way out. The night stretches endlessly, and the silence is deafening. Your fight for survival has just begun. The street was dark, too dark. After a long shift, fatigue weighed heavily, but this was the shortcut home. Familiar, yet now unsettling. The streetlights flickered, then died. Silence fell like a heavy blanket. You step forward, heart pounding. Shadows stretch and swirl. A chill crawls up your spine. Something's off. You scan the darkness. That's when you see them. Eyes. Not human, not even animal. They glimmer, reflecting what little light remains. They pierce the darkness, cold and watchful. Breath quickens. You try to convince yourself it's just your mind playing tricks. But those eyes remain, unblinking. You back away slowly. The air feels thick, suffocating. Each step feels like a challenge. The eyes follow. They seem to laugh at your fear. Thoughts race. What if you turn and run? Would that provoke it? Or would it chase you? You remember stories of things that hunt in the dark. The fear of death looms, suffocating. What stands before you is not mere shadow but an embodiment of your worst nightmares. You freeze, fight or flight. Your instincts scream to flee. But curiosity pulls you closer. What does it want? You can't shake the feeling that it knows you, like it's been waiting for this moment. The eyes blink. A slow, deliberate movement. A signal? You gasp, turning to flee. Each footfall echoes like a drum. You sprint down the street, but the darkness seems to stretch infinitely. The fear of the unknown claws at your mind. What lurks just beyond the reach of your fading light. Every corner you turn, the eyes linger in your mind. They haunt you. You can almost hear whispers, taunting. Death isn't just a possibility, it's a presence. A reminder that it waits for everyone. You reach your street. Home is close, yet feels so far. You glance back once more. The eyes are gone, but the feeling remains. A chill, an echo of dread. Will it come again? What waits for you in the shadows? You step inside, locking the door behind you. But the darkness lingers. It always does. The headlights cut through the darkness as you drive into the small town. A chill runs down your spine. The streets are eerily silent. No people, no sounds, just the remnants of what once was. Abandoned cars line the roads, some with doors ajar, others left in mid-escape. You grip the steering wheel tighter. Your instincts scream at you to leave, but curiosity keeps you moving forward. You scan the buildings. Windows are shattered. Graffiti scrawled across walls hints at panic. Then, out of the corner of your eye, a shadow flits across the street. Heart racing, you slam on the brakes. You peer out, searching, but see nothing. Is it just your imagination? You can't afford to be reckless. You decide to find supplies, food, water, anything that might help you survive. You spot a grocery store up ahead. The sign hangs crooked, swinging slightly in the wind. With each step toward the entrance, you feel the weight of isolation. The air is thick, heavy with dread. You push the door open. It creaks loudly. Inside, the shelves are mostly bare. A few cans remain, rusted and dusty. You grab what you can find, stuffing them into your bag. Then, a noise. A soft shuffle. You freeze. Someone, or something, is here. Your heart pounds in your ears. You can't stay here. You need to move. Fast. You glance around, looking for an exit. The back door seems to lead to an alley. You make your way toward it, every step echoing in the emptiness. Your pulse quickens. You push the door open just enough to slip through. The alley is dark, damp, and filled with the stench of decay. You can hear your breath quickening, a reminder of your solitude. Every shadow feels alive, every sound amplified. You step cautiously, scanning for threats. The feeling of being watched creeps over you. Then you see them. Figures emerging from the shadows. Their movements are awkward, jerky. You recognize the signs. These are not people anymore. Panic surges. You turn to run, but the alley narrows. You are trapped. Survival instincts kick in. You need a plan. You spot a fire escape. Can you reach it? The figures are closing in. You sprint, adrenaline coursing through your veins. Climb. You must climb. As you pull yourself up, the cold metal bites into your hands. You look down. They are almost upon you. Their hollow eyes fix on you. A surge of desperation propels you higher. You reach the roof and collapse. The view is haunting. The town sprawls below, desolate and lifeless, but you are not safe yet. You are isolated. Resources are running low. The figures are still there, milling about, waiting. You need to think, to find a way out. The night stretches endlessly, and the silence is deafening. Your fight for survival has just begun. You walk home alone, the streetlights flickering overhead. The chill of the night wraps around you, heavier than your coat. Shadows stretch and pull, whispering secrets you can't hear. You quicken your pace, heart thumping in your chest. A noise, a rustle behind you. You glance back, but the street is empty, just the dark. Your mind races. Is it your imagination? Or something lurking in the shadows? You push the thought away, telling yourself to focus. With each step, the feeling of being watched intensifies. Your instincts scream. You can't shake the sensation that eyes are on you. You try to walk faster, but the darkness seems to thicken, almost tangible. It wraps around your legs, pulling you down. Then you hear it again. Footsteps, not your own. You freeze. Your breath catches in your throat. This time, you don't look back. You can feel the presence now, close. A chill runs down your spine. You are not alone. You pick up your pace, nearly jogging. The sound follows. Closer. You scan your surroundings, looking for a place to hide, a way out. The street feels endless, the shadows closing in. Your mind twists. What if it's not a person? What if it's something worse? You reach a corner store, its lights flickering like a heartbeat. Safety? Maybe. You rush inside, the bell jingling behind you. But the feeling doesn't leave. You glance at the door, half expecting to see a figure standing there. Nothing. Just the night. But then, a reflection catches your eye. In the glass, something dark stands behind you. You turn, but the store is empty. Your pulse quickens. This isn't just fear. It's a descent into madness. You take a deep breath. Panic gnaws at you. Should you stay or run back into the night? You can feel it, whatever it is, pressing against your mind. You can't think straight. You need to decide. With a burst of courage, you push through the door. The darkness greets you like an old friend. You run. Each step echoes, a cacophony against the silence. But the footsteps are still there, just behind you. You turn a corner, heart racing. The world blurs. You can't escape. The shadows twist, becoming shapes, figures that taunt you. You stumble, breathless, as panic grips you tighter. What is following you? Why won't it leave? Your thoughts spiral into chaos. You can't escape your mind. The darkness isn't just outside, it's inside you. You realize it's not just a chase. It's a confrontation with your deepest fears. You run until your legs ache, but the weight of the darkness is relentless. You feel it closing in, as if it's waiting for you to give up, but there's no surrender. You push forward, fighting against the pull of despair. The night stretches on, a maze of terror. Each shadow feels alive, each noise a reminder that you are never truly alone. The darkness isn't just a void, it's a reflection of what you hide from yourself. And as you flee, you wonder, will you ever escape? Or is the darkness now part of you, forever entwined in your mind? You sit down in your window seat for your first flight to Hawaii. Excitement bubbles inside you. The plane begins to taxi, and you glance out the window. That's when you see it. Something dark, gnawing on the electrical wires beneath the wing. Your heart races. What is that? A bird? No, it's too large. Panic grips you. You try to convince yourself it's just a trick of the light, maybe a shadow, but it moves. It's alive. Your breathing quickens. You can't look away. The creature's eyes glint at you, reflecting the dim cabin light. The plane jolts as it lifts off. You feel weightless, but dread anchors you. Images flash in your mind. Wires sparking, the plane plummeting, screams filling the cabin. You want to scream, but you can't. You are frozen. Your fingers grip the armrest. You want to alert someone, anyone. But what would you say? Excuse me, there's a monster outside. They'd laugh. You'd be the crazy one. Instead, you force yourself to breathe slowly. In, out. The creature continues its feast, oblivious to your terror. You start to imagine it gnawing through the wires, severing connections. What if it causes a fire? What if the engines fail? You look around. Most passengers are asleep, unaware of the horror unfolding outside. A flight attendant walks by. You muster the courage to ask, "Is everything okay with the plane?" She smiles, assuring you all is well. You want to believe her, but her calmness feels like a lie. You return your gaze to the window. The creature is gone. Relief washes over you. But then, a realization strikes. Where did it go? You scan the sky, heart pounding again. The fear creeps back in. What if it's still there, lurking, waiting? You begin to feel the claustrophobia of the cabin. The walls seem to close in. An announcement crackles over the intercom. We are cruising at 30,000 feet. The voice is calm, yet it feels like a warning. You think of the creature, its hunger. What if it wasn't just after the wires? What if it wanted something more? You can't shake the feeling of being watched. You glance around again. The other passengers still sleep. A knot tightens in your stomach. You realize you are trapped. No escape. The fear of death gnaws at you, more potent than the creature outside. The lights flicker. You hold your breath. A chill runs down your spine. What if the power goes out? What if the plane spirals down into darkness? The thought is suffocating. You close your eyes, trying to block out the terror. But then the lights stabilize. You open your eyes and look back out the window. The sky is clear, but the sense of dread remains. You know it's not over. The creature might return, or something worse could be waiting. You try to shake off the fear, but it clings to you like a shadow. This flight isn't just a journey, it's a descent into the unknown, and every heartbeat is a reminder that you are not alone. The fear of death isn't just in your mind, it's real, and it's out there. You wake up. The sky is dark. Your heart races. You stand on the edge of a towering building. 50 stories loom below. The streets are dim, shadowy figures moving like whispers. Panic grips you. How did you get here? Thoughts swarm your mind. Memories are foggy. You try to piece it together, but nothing makes sense. A chilling urge pulls at you. It whispers to jump. Why? The ground beckons. That thought is chilling. You feel it. The fear of death wraps around your throat. You take a step back. Just breathe. But the urge intensifies. Images flash through your mind. Faces of loved ones. Moments you cherish. Yet, they fade under the weight of something darker. A voice echoes in your head. It's not your own. It urges you to let go. You glance down again. The street looks inviting in its emptiness. What lies beneath? You don't know. The fear of the unknown gnaws at you. A choice hangs in the air. You want to run, to scream, but your feet feel glued to the rooftop. What if you jump? What if it's the end? The voice laughs, chilling your bones. You remember a time when you felt free, joyful, but that seems distant now. A part of you wants to lean into the darkness, to let the weight of despair take you, but another part screams to fight. You step back. The wind whips around you. It feels alive. It whispers secrets. You shake your head, trying to clear the haze. You look around. Is anyone else here? You peer over the edge again. The street crawls with shadows. They dance and flicker, drawing you in. You feel a pull, a connection to something sinister. It's magnetic. You resist, but the struggle weighs heavy. How do you escape? Can you outsmart this voice? Your mind races. Each thought a battle. You think of the people you love. You want to stay. You want to live. But still, the fear grips you. In the distance, sirens wail. They pierce the night. A reminder of reality. You must choose. Do you surrender to the darkness or fight for the light? The decision is yours. You take a deep breath. You can feel the weight of the moment. The urge returns, stronger now, but so is your will. You step back again, this time firmly. You are not just a pawn in this game. You are alive. You must fight. The battle rages in your mind. What will you do next? The phone rings. It's late. You glance at the clock. 2:03 a.m. The silence is thick. You hesitate, then answer. Heavy breathing. A whisper. You forgot to turn off the lamp in the bedroom. The shadow lurks above you. It can only harm you if the lights are on. A chill runs through you. You hang up, heart racing. What does this mean? A prank? You dismiss it at first, but the whisper echoes in your mind. You get out of bed, each step slow, your skin prickling. The hallway stretches ahead, dark and foreboding. You reach your bedroom door. Do you dare to open it? You grip the handle, twisting slowly. The door creaks. Inside, the lamp glows softly, casting long shadows. You scan the room. Nothing seems out of place. The air feels heavy, like a storm waiting to break. You move to the lamp, ready to switch it off. But then you see it. A shadow. Not just the usual shapes cast by the furniture. This one is darker, twisting, almost alive. Your breath catches. It looms above you, a void in the light. You remember the call, the warning. You hesitate, hand hovering over the switch. What if turning off the light makes it worse? Or what if it's already too late? A chill sweeps through the room. The shadow shifts, elongating, creeping closer. You can almost hear it whispering, taunting you. Turn off the light, it seems to say. But what will happen if you do? Adrenaline surges. You flick the switch. The room plunges into darkness. Silence. Your heart pounds in your ears. Then, a soft giggle. It echoes in the dark, cold and small. You freeze. Where did it come from? You strain your eyes, trying to see. Nothing. Just blackness. But you feel it. A presence. It's there, watching, waiting. You reach for your phone, the light illuminating the room. The shadow retreats, but only slightly. It's still there, lurking in the corners. You breathe heavily, searching for a plan. You need to get out. You turn to leave, but the door slams shut. Panic rises. You pound on it. Let me out. The giggle grows louder. You look back. The shadow is closer now, a shape forming in the dark. A face? You can't tell. It grins, mouth wide, but you can't see the eyes. Your mind races. You remember the warnings, the whispers. You feel the chill of death creeping in. You realize this isn't just a game. This is life and death. You push against the door, adrenaline fueling your strength. It gives way, and you stumble back into the hallway. The light behind you flickers as you run. The phone rings again. You don't stop to answer. The whispers follow you. You should have listened. You reach the front door. It won't budge. You pull, panic rising. The whispers grow louder, more insistent. You can feel the shadow closing in. Every instinct screams to escape. But outside, the night waits, waiting for you to step into its embrace. You scream, but there's no one to hear. The elevator doors slide shut with a soft thud. You feel the familiar knot tightening in your stomach. Heights are not your friend. This elevator, a metal box hanging by cables, seems more like a trap than a means of transport. You shake your head, trying to dismiss the fear. 25 flights of stairs? No way. As the elevator begins to ascend, a sudden chill fills the air. You glance at the flickering lights overhead. Just a malfunction, you tell yourself. But deep down, a voice whispers, what if it's not? The sensation of weightlessness hits you unexpectedly. A jolt. The elevator stops, lurching slightly. Your heart races. You press the buttons frantically. Nothing happens. Panic sets in. You remember the stories, the ones about the building's dark past, the whispers of a soul trapped within its walls. Something brushes against the back of your mind, an image of a dark figure lingering in the shadows of the stairwell. You shake your head. It's just your imagination. But the fear persists, clawing at your thoughts. Then, a sound. A snap, sharp and sudden. The elevator jolts again and you feel it. Gravity shifting. The cables are fraying. You know what that means. You are not just trapped, you are falling. In that moment, clarity strikes. You need to act. You glance at the emergency phone, but the realization hits you hard. If you call for help, it might be too late. You can't let fear paralyze you. The air grows thick, suffocating. You brace yourself against the walls, heart pounding. The elevator creaks ominously. Thoughts race. If you could just pry open the doors, maybe you could escape. But the space feels tight, claustrophobic. Another snap echoes, louder this time. A deep rumble reverberates through your bones. You can almost hear the laughter of something unseen, a presence that thrives on your fear. A pulse of dread runs through you. You don't want to die here. Not like this. Then, as if responding to your desperation, the lights flicker once more. A dim glow washes over you. You breathe deeply, trying to gather your thoughts. The cables are frayed, but there's still a chance, if you can just get to the control panel. But the moments drag on, each second stretching thin. You feel it again. The elevator lurching, swaying. The world outside feels distant, unreal. The darkness creeps closer, whispering promises of oblivion. You focus on the sound of your own breath, steadying yourself. One decision, one moment of courage. You can either succumb to the fear or fight against it. That choice hangs heavy in the air. And then, with a final snap, the cables give way. The descent begins. It's dark, the kind of darkness that wraps around you like a heavy blanket. You wake up, heart racing. You can't see a thing, just black. Voices whisper in the shadows. They swirl around you, soft yet insistent. You try to move, but your body feels heavy, bound. Panic grips you. You blink, desperately searching for something, anything, to anchor your fear. Then a flicker, a tiny speck of light. It dances just at the edge of your vision, like a shadow of a figure. It beckons. You want to look away, to ignore it, but you can't. It's almost mesmerizing. It whispers your name. The urge to follow it pulls at you. What happens next? You hesitate. You think of all the stories you've heard, all the warnings, but the darkness feels alive, pressing in. You take a breath, feeling your chest tighten. The whispers grow louder, more urgent. They promise you answers, freedom from this suffocating black void. You shift your focus to the figure. It seems to pulse with energy. You step forward, one shaky foot at a time. The ground feels unstable beneath you, but you push on. Every step feels like a surrender, and with each move, the fear of losing control gnaws at your mind. Then, just as you venture deeper into the dark, the whispers stop. Silence envelops you. You gasp, feeling the weight of the void pressing down. You glance back, but the way you came has vanished. Only that flickering light remains, pulsating with a sinister rhythm. What do you do now? You can't go back. The darkness has claimed that path, but the light, it seems to promise something. You find yourself drawn to it despite the creeping dread. Each heartbeat echoes in your ears, urging you forward. You approach the light, and it expands, swallowing you whole. Suddenly, you are no longer alone. Shadows swirl around you, faces emerging from the darkness. They reach out, trying to grasp you. Their whispers return, now louder, more chaotic. They claw at your sanity. You realize the truth. The light was a trap. You've lost control. You scream, but the sound is swallowed by the void. The figures close in, their laughter echoing in your mind. You are engulfed, lost in the darkness forever.